And I'm tracking bitterly cold temperatures as alert day conditions continue, but it's not the only winter ingredient that's in the forecast. We're tracking snow as well and some of the coldest temperatures perhaps of the entire winter season. That's coming up.
Madisonian paid tribute to Dr. King's legacy today, and later how a bipartisan effort could change how much wrongfully incarcerated people are paid. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke. Sarah is off tonight. We begin with the weather as we deal with these dangerously cold temperatures, the breezy conditions as well. And it seems like these frigid temperatures will be with us for a while. For the latest on these temperatures, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Eric, that's why we're tracking alert day conditions for Tuesday morning going on into Tuesday night. More bitter cold temperatures, perhaps as cold as minus 20 in the wind chill department, and snow as we go into Tuesday night. More on that in just a moment. As we take a peek right now, these are our wind chills as of 5:30, 6 o'clock. As cold as minus 18 in Camp Douglas, minus 12 in Madison, minus 14 in Janesville. That real dangerous threshold is right around 20 below, so we're inching closer to that. We got a ways to go into the evening for our temperatures to continue to plummet. And just look at the next 10 days here. Highs way below normal. The average high is 27. As we head out towards Friday and Saturday, we may struggle to get above zero, and that's the actual air temperature. That's not the wind chills. The wind chills is cold as minus 35 Friday morning, and then again on Saturday morning. And as I mentioned, we have snow in the forecast too. Alert day snow for the potential of 1 to 4 inches as we head into Tuesday night going on into Wednesday. When I come back, we will track that snow together and I will show you where a very narrow band of snow, perhaps 2 to 4 inches, maybe a little bit more, may set up in parts of southern Wisconsin.
All right, Alex, thank you. And earlier today, Madison officials gave an update on how the Streets Division is taking care of the roads during this weather. Right now, they are still snow covered, but the city says its plows are out now and will be through the night. Due to the temperatures, the city says salt is not effective, so city workers will be applying sand instead. And you can track the forecast for yourself with our First Warn weather app. It has hourly temperature updates, road conditions, and radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Several people are displaced after a fire in Madison this morning. Just after 7, firefighters were sent to North Patterson Street for reports of a fire in a 3-story multifamily home. Someone living on the first floor called about smoke coming from the 3rd floor. They tried to use a fire extinguisher, but the fire was not affected. Fire crews were able to put it out. They didn't find anyone on the 3rd floor. No injuries were reported. The Red Cross now assisting those who were displaced. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Today, we honor the birthday of iconic civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. MLK would have turned 97 last Thursday, born back in 1929. Dr. King's involvement with the civil rights movement dates to the 1950s. He led the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 after Rosa Parks famously refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. Dr. King quickly became the de facto face of the growing movement. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, the same year the Civil Rights Act was passed. Dr. King also spoke out against the war in Vietnam in 1967. He was assassinated in Memphis the following year. Here in Madison, it has been a long tradition to mark MLK Day in Wisconsin, and today was no exception. Our Tanisha Shaw highlights one young Madisonian's tribute to Dr. King's legacy.
A lot of people gathered to celebrate the life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. here at the state capitol on Monday. And this is actually the oldest state-level celebration in the entire country, and they celebrated with a lot of joyful noise. Local leaders remembering the civil rights activists. For 46 years, the state of Wisconsin has honored Dr. King by inviting everyone to see how Wisconsinites are carrying out his legacy. Aria Terry is the perfect example.
Not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Terry read Dr. King's iconic I Have a Dream speech in front of hundreds of people.
And this will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning.
Being one of the only Madison natives involved and highlighted in the ceremony Monday.
I feel like I'm honoring him by saying this, and I'm so happy to have had this opportunity.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
And you can hear more of Aria's speech on our website right now under this story linked at channel3000.com. Now to Minneapolis, where DHS says it has made more than 3,000 arrests in the Twin Cities since Operation Metro Surge started last month. CBS News has learned the Pentagon has 1,500 active duty soldiers on standby if President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act. Meanwhile, a federal judge has ordered ICE agents to stop using tear gas, pepper spray, and other non-lethal munitions against peaceful protesters and people who are recording ICE movements. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the orders don't change anything.
We only use those chemical agents when there's violence happening and perpetuating, and you need to be able to establish law and order to keep people safe.
Sources tell CBS News the Justice Department is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey over an alleged conspiracy to impede federal immigration agents. Frey and Walz called the investigation political intimidation. Wisconsin was the first state in the country to pay those wrongfully incarcerated, but now our state has one of the lowest compensation rates. Political reporter Ellie LaLiberte breaks down the bipartisan effort to change that. Ellie?
Eric, this bill looks to dramatically increase that compensation rate. The last time the legislation was updated was in 1987. That's nearly 40 years ago. Right now, those wrongfully incarcerated can receive $5,000 a year with a maximum of $25,000 through the Wisconsin Claims Board. But a bipartisan bill brings Wisconsin's compensation closer in line with the federal government. It would increase the yearly payout to $50,000 a year with a cap at $1 million. Christopher Lau works to overturn wrongful convictions with Wisconsin's Innocence Projects. He's testified in both Assembly and Senate committees in favor of the legislation.
If you can think about what you pay for rent, $25,000 covers at most a year of rent, for some folks less. And so it is incredibly frustrating to know that we were the first and we were a leader and that we since have not kept up that, that mantle for our clients.
Now, this bill would also seal records relating to the exonerated person's case. Lau tells me that could help those impacted get a job and get back on their feet. And tonight at 10, I'm talking with a man who was wrongfully convicted and spent more than 25 years in prison about what this legislation could mean for him.
All right, we look forward to that. Ellie, thank you. And coming up next, the latest on this year's flu season in the U.S. and protecting your skin from these bitterly cold temperatures, what dermatologists say helps and what doesn't help. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Good news and bad news when it comes to seasonal flu activity in the United States. The latest CDC data shows that while flu cases remain elevated across the country, the amount of activity has decreased or has stayed stable for 2 consecutive weeks. Now the bad news, hospitalizations for flu in children younger than 18 have the highest peak weekly rate in more than 15 years. And in the latest week of data, there were 15 flu-related pediatric deaths for a total of 32 reported child deaths associated with the flu this season. The CDC says 90% of those who died were not fully vaccinated against the flu.
Children, especially under the age of 2, they're pretty small. And when they're still small, you get something that's just so inflammatory, like influenza. When it gets into your lungs, it causes a lot of inflammation.
He says the best protection against severe disease is for adults and children 6 months and older to get a flu shot. New research finds that taking Tylenol during pregnancy is not linked to an increased risk of autism. The research was revealed in a paper published Friday. It found no indication that children born to mothers who used acetaminophen during pregnancy have an increased likelihood of autism. More than 40 published studies on prenatal acetaminophen exposure and potential links with child neurodevelopment were reviewed, and in all, data on more than 300,000 pregnancies. Experts say there are several potential causes of autism, including genetics, older age of parents, and prenatal exposure to air pollution and certain pesticides. Old man winter can really take its toll on the body's largest organ, your skin. Dermatologists say we're constantly losing moisture during winter because our bodies are like humidifiers, releasing that crucial moisture into the dry air around us. And those long, hot showers don't help either. They may warm you up in the moment, but all that hot water is actually bad for your skin. Doctors say dry skin can actually pose a health hazard.
Your skin is actually the barrier of protection to the outside environment, right? So if that gets dry and that gets impaired, you actually are putting yourself at risk for infection, not just the itchy, uncomfortable skin that happens when your skin is dry that can have you lose sleep at night and be uncomfortable, but you can actually get sick and get infections when your skin barrier is broken.
Now, dermatologists say the first step is to pull in moisture with a product containing hyaluronic acid and then seal it with an emollient like Aquaphor. In winter, limit the use of products with glycolic and other acids and retinol. Those ingredients can strip down your skin's barrier even more. Your body isn't the only thing you need to take care of during these frigid months. Still ahead, we talk with a mechanic on what you can do to make sure you don't get stuck out in the freezing cold this week. And is there more dangerous cold in our forecast? Alex returns with a complete look at the forecast when we return.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, that's a live look at the Beltline near the John Dolan Drive exit as people are looking to stay out of these freezing temperatures. Had several periods of light snow since last Thursday as well. Look, sounds like another one could be on the way tomorrow night. Alex, what are we looking at here?
Indeed. By the time we get to 8 o'clock tomorrow night, more light snow developing in southern Wisconsin from southwest to, well, from west to east, rather. Then that lasts through about 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. Good chance of 1 to 4 inches of snow. And you might be saying, well, 1 to 4 inches, it's a pretty big range. But I will explain that we're tracking a narrow band of possibly 2, 3, 4, maybe some localized areas, just a little bit more than that. Similar to what we saw last Friday night. Here comes that snow here on Future Track, Viroqua, Boscoville, Prairie du Chien, Lone Rock, right around 8 o'clock as we go into Tuesday night. It becomes widespread across all of southern Wisconsin, especially from the Dells to Madison, down to the Wisconsin-Illinois border. And then it's out of here by the time we get to 6 or so Wednesday morning, with a couple more snow showers developing later Wednesday afternoon, perhaps lasting into Wednesday evening. Overall snowfall amounts widespread. This is why I mean 1 inch up towards Camp Douglas to perhaps as much as 4 inches from Madison and areas to the south. And there's a localized band, narrow, maybe just a county or 2 wide, where we could be looking at some 4 or 5, maybe an isolated 6-inch amount in a very narrow corridor in southern Wisconsin. And any toggle, as always, north or south with the track of this Clipper-like weather system will change those snow totals here. Want to be tuning in tonight at 10, Savannah in the morning, Jacob at noon for the very latest on just where that band is going to set up. But right now, I think that band's going to set up from the Wisconsin River Valley to Madison and areas south towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. So that's for alert day. Snow overnight on Tuesday. Bitter cold will start off Tuesday morning, so it's a 2-part alert day on Tuesday for the bitter cold and then the snow. Looking at wind chills tomorrow morning, maybe not quite as cold as what we saw this morning near -30, but still dangerously cold around -20 to start off Tuesday. Many folks are heading back to work and to school. Wouldn't be surprised to see some 2-hour delays tomorrow morning for that bitter cold. But this may not be the coldest that we get over the course of the next 10 days. We are really eyeing up Friday and Saturday. Another Arctic plunge behind another Clipper-like weather system Thursday could bring actual air temperatures during the day barely getting above 0. And then we just stay in the grips of this cold air well out into the next 10 days. Could be looking at wind chills to -35 on Friday morning and Saturday morning, but that may be a bit on the conservative side. Some of our weather models are suggesting wind chills between -35 and 40 below as we go into Friday morning, and we can't rule out some areas in the Wisconsin River Valley, those low-lying areas with the actual air temperature getting as cold as -20 to start off Friday morning. We'll do -5 to -10 for low temperatures tonight. Highs struggling to get above 10 as we go on into Tuesday as clouds increase out of that Clipper-like weather system. Here's alert day conditions for bitter cold Tuesday morning, then the accumulating snow. Following the bitter cold on Tuesday, we're going to stay cold Wednesday going on into Thursday with that next plunge Friday going on into Saturday. That's all part of what we're tracking here. Eric just breaking all of that down. The snow tomorrow night, and then the blast of cold air tomorrow morning, and then Friday going into the weekend. Bitterly cold Arctic stuff, dangerously cold conditions, and that's why we have alert day warning for Tuesday night, Friday morning, Saturday morning. We could add Sunday too, possibly.
Let's not. Let's just not ruin another complete weekend.
We'll keep
it out for now. It is at times of the weekend it gets really cold too, and today as well. But I thought today would be the coldest, but it looks like more is on the way.
More is on the way by the end of the week.
All right, Alex. And with these cold temps sticking around, car troubles, of course, can always pop up. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks caught up with a local mechanic on how you can keep your vehicle up and running through this very chilly stretch.
It's that time of the year in southern Wisconsin when you cross your fingers when you start your car. I had the chance to catch up with one mechanic on how you can relieve that stress. Southern Wisconsin is getting an Arctic blast. We could see this current cold stretch last through next week. The First Warn Weather Team is tracking actual air temperatures in some places Friday morning and Saturday morning as cold as -20, with wind chills possibly colder than -35. And this weather could spell trouble for your car. I stopped by Wrench Auto Service in Middleton. They tell me this time of the year they see an influx of tire and battery failures among other mechanical emergencies.
This time of year is busy when the weather is very cold. Everybody that's done proper maintenance, we won't see them. We'll do more emergency car repair this time of year. For people that are maybe a little less prepared or things that are not predictable.
Fuller says staying proactive with your vehicle can save you a lot of time and money.
Regular maintenance is the key to all of it with a good vehicle inspection. Your service center should be checking the fluids in the car, the batteries, the tire pressures, and all of the things that will keep you out of trouble this time of year.
Fuller also says to make sure you give your vehicle enough warm-up time before you hit the road. For now, reporting on Madison's west side, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. Right now, movie theaters across America are celebrating one of America's favorite snacks. Today is National Popcorn Day. No matter how you like it, with butter, salt, nuts, chocolate, popcorn has been around for more than a century now. The food started becoming popular in the United States in the middle 1800s, but it wasn't until Charles Creetors, a candy store owner, developed a machine for popping corn with steam that the tasty treat became more abundantly poppable. It's estimated that Americans eat about 13 billion quarts of popcorn each and every year. Well, the road to the Super Bowl comes down to this weekend on CBS, the AFC Championship game. After knocking off the Houston Texans, the New England Patriots, led by quarterback Drake May, are heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. Denver got past the Buffalo Bills Saturday with a game-winning field goal in overtime, but they lost their starting quarterback, Bo Nix, for the rest of the season due to a broken ankle. Can the Broncos' backup quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, lead his team to Super Bowl 60? That's the drama there. Kickoff set for 2 p.m. That's Sunday. The AFC Championship game is right here on CBS. And Andrew's here with sports.
We all knew it was going to be Jarrett Stidham with the chance to go to the Super Bowl. We all knew that.
Heroics needed.
Of course. I mean, it was just meant to be. And still to come in sports, some disappointing but expected news out of Titletown. Jason Weldy joins us next on News 3 Now.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
Even if it seemed like it was a matter of time, to be honest, it still kind of stinks. We had some big news out of Green Bay today, and for that, we sent it to our senior Packers writer, Jason Weldy.
The only question Packers head coach Matt LaFleur had after the season when it came to his defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, was not if he would lose Hafley to a head coaching job, but which one. Today we found out. The Miami Dolphins have chosen Hafley to be their next head coach, which means the Packers, as LaFleur was expecting all along, are in the market for a new defensive coordinator.
I think all options are on the table. I think that's something that we'll be working through. I fully anticipate, I think Hafley's going to do a great job on the interview, and I fully anticipate him getting one of these, and I would be so happy for him because he deserves it. And he's a great friend. He's a great man. He's a great coach. I'd hate to see him leave for us, but at the same time, that's what this business is all about, and he's earned those ops. So I'm excited for him in that regard. But we'll make sure we have a good plan in place.
Hafley had his second interview with the Dolphins today, and they made their choice. Now, it has not officially been announced just yet, but it is expected to be announced soon. A few things to remember when it comes to this. First of all, the Dolphins' new general manager is John Eric Sullivan, who spent 2 decades in Green Bay and was the right-hand man to Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. Second, how many of the Packers' existing defensive assistants will go with Hafley to Miami? There are at least 2 that have close ties to Jeff Hafley. One is Ryan Downer, their defensive backs coach. The other linebacker coach, Sean Duggan. And finally, Matt LaFleur will decide who his next defensive coordinator will be. He just got his extension from the Packers. That has not been announced yet either, but he retains autonomy over his coaching staff, so he will make the call on who replaces Jeff Hafley. We'll have more at channel3000.com, where you can also sign up for our Packers newsletter, and we'll have full coverage throughout the week of any changes that occur on the Packers staff. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And after losing 3 straight, the Bucks got a much-needed win this afternoon. But that's the second biggest story out of Milwaukee, because for the 10th season in a row, Giannis is headed to the All-Star game and doing it as a starter. That's the longest active streak in the NBA when it comes to either of those categories. He becomes the first Buck to make 10 All-Star games. This year, he's averaging 29 points per to go with 10 rebounds. And here in Madison, John Blackwell is stacking up his own honors. The junior was named the Big Ten's Player of the Week for the second time this season. This past week, he scored 23 points per game in a pair of wins that helped Bucky extend their winning streak to 4 in a row.
All right, Andrew, why would Hafley want to go to Miami? It's so nice here.
Oh, yeah, stay in the bitter cold.
It's ridiculous.
It is. Take it easy out there. And at 10, I'll have the very latest on accumulating snow expected tomorrow night.
You got the Hoosiers winning tonight in Miami.
I think so by a lot.
I like that pick. My alma mater. Go Hoosiers. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you at 10.